Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day today. We go to Talladega in both the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. Right there you see the news for today. Kyle Busch earned career win 71 in Richmond, putting him one step closer to Dale Earnhardt 76. Stewart-Haas Racing continues to show speed in all four cars as Denny Hamlin continues to hold on to the points lead after a strong start to the season. And Owen and Elliott had a crash in Richmond, and Elliott called it an over-aggressive move from Owen. So interesting choice words there from the 9 of Chase Elliott. We'll see how that carries over in today in Talladega as we come to the Xfinity Series, where we had subscriber Devin Roth in the cars. Obviously at Talladega we have to start in the back of the field just like Daytona, as we don't have a chance to do anything in qualifying there. As you see, we're still running the little Kobe Bryant tribute paint scheme that's going to be on for I think maybe another race or so, and then we're going to go back to our normal paint scheme on the car. But Devin had worked his way, sure enough, through the field throughout this race as he was working that inside lane, and he had worked his way to the midfield, making it 4 wide actually as he went down into turns 1, but he continued to just move forwards as he could throughout the rest of this race, and he got up inside the top 10 on the final lap. Now as you see him coming through the tribal, passing the 22 of Austin Cindric as he would come through to cross the line to have a very solid 4th place finish. But we're going to get right into the Cup Series here in Talladega.
Today we're at Talladega Superspeedway for the running of the Geico 500. Now Talladega is the longest track in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. So who will avoid the big one and make their way to victory lane? Let's head down to the track and find out.
Alright, thank you Rick Allen. We're ready to go green. Before we get this going, I owe a big yeehaw to Vixen, a subscriber who I promised I would do a yeehaw for him at Texas, which was quite a few episodes ago, so we were a little bit late on it, but hopefully Vixen, that made you happy there. Now as we're ready to go green for the Geico 500 at Talladega Superspeedway here in the 41 car. As you see the Aris colors on the car, starting at the back of the field. Clint Boyer, our Stewart-Haas Racing teammate, just in front of us now as the green flag is out, and we are underway. Ty Dillon leads the field to green here in the number 13 car. I think that might be his first or second pole of his career, because I think he started on pole maybe once already in our NASCAR Heat 4 career mode. So we're going to see how things shape up as we go down into turns 1. They're already going 3 wide for the lead up front between Newman, Dillon, and Corey LaJoie there. So Newman's going to take over the lead already through turns 1 and turns 2. As if you guys have seen plate races in the past in our career mode, the AI, you would know, are certainly not afraid to get really aggressive on restarts, go 3 wide if they can, so we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out for that here today. The first couple plate races we did in our Cup Series career felt pretty tame, but now it's quite a bit different as we come through turns 3 and at turns 4. Obviously just kind of chilling right now behind our teammate of Clint Boyer, just running that bottom lane, hoping to stick on this bottom lane now as we exit the corner. So heading down this front straightaway, things looking good so far now as Newman leads the way. We've had issues with Newman a few times already throughout this season, and hopefully we avoid that today as we look to the inside of Joe Begay as we come through to complete this first and opening lap here at Talladega Superspeedway as we go down into turns 1. So Newman trying to get his first win in multiple seasons now, as I believe our teammate Eric Almirola was up there in the mix. We came to lap 3. We had worked our way up, still behind Clint Boyer, though into P29 using this bottom lane. There's a 13, the pole sitter of Ty Dillon goes up into the outside wall through turns 3 after a tire failure, and that's going to bring out our first caution of the day here in Talladega, about just a little bit short of the midway point in the stage. No one was coming to the pit lane, so we would get ready to go green from P28 here behind Clint Boyer. Now as the green flag is back out, and we are underway here on lap 6 of 13 in stage 1. Eric Almirola, our teammate, leads the way at this point now as he looks for win number 1 on the season. In our first 2 seasons of the Cup Series, Almirola's gotten 2 wins. One at Sonoma last season, and then one at Pocono in a rookie season where he had a nice little duel at the end of that race with Tyler Reddick there. As we have a bit of a checkup, they're already going 3 wide, like I mentioned would likely happen as we came through heading down the back straightaway on lap 7 of 13. Now in the stage behind us, Ryan Truex up on the top as I actually jump up to the top to our outside, or to the outside of our teammate of Clint Boyer, trying to get linked up here maybe with Kurt Busch, just kind of seeing what would happen. Boyer migrated to the bottom, so I jumped down as well to get to the inside of Kurt Busch, and now we're 3 wide up the middle between the Chip Ganassi driver as we exit turns 4 heading down this front straightaway. So certainly starting on the outside, definitely a disadvantage to us as the usual at Talladega, so hoping that we could just find a way back to that bottom lane any moment we can. But the 2 of Keselowski fills that little hole that was there, so we're stuck 3 wide in the middle with 6 laps to go here in stage 1 as we go down into turns 1, still the pack is led by Eric Almirola in the number 10 car. Now as we have a chance for a moment to get in behind Keselowski, but Eric Jones, he got in there, and then Keselowski's momentum kind of stalled out as we're still 3 wide up the middle, but Keselowski clears us and we jump down in behind him, and now we have a chance to maybe move our way back forwards throughout the field. Sure enough, we would come through on this bottom lane and climb up inside the top 20 as we came to lap 11 of 13 here in stage 1. Still 3 wide with Jamie McMurray and whatnot, but we continued to the white flag in the stage behind our teammates still of Clint Boyer up to P12. Alex Bowman on the outside. Jimmy Johnson, the 7-time champion with 1 win this season, locked in the playoffs now as he's on the outside of Corey LaJoie. He's in the mix as we come through turns 2, just trying to make sure we don't drive right into the back there of my teammate of Clint Boyer as we go down this back straightaway for the final time here in stage 1. Johnson and LaJoie side by side as the momentum just wasn't on my side there as we go down into turns 3. LaJoie, he's going to drop down in front of me. Johnson stays up top with a little bit of help from his Hendrick teammate of Alex Bowman, who looks like he might try to get to the inside of him as we come through turns 3 and out to turns 4. Eric Almirola still leading the way, looking for a first stage win, I believe, of the season for him. Now as we're going to go 3 wide up the middle between LaJoie and there's Landon Castle as we try to get to the inside of him as Eric Almirola wins stage 1, and we come through to finish in P9 here for the first stage. So a very solid effort for us, I think, in stage 1, setting us up pretty nice for the second stage here in Talladega. As William Byron's up there in P3, Kyle Busch P5. Now as we would take 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel and get ready to go green for stage 2. Unfortunately, we would gain 1 position on the pit lane, setting us up in P8 on that outside lane behind Kyle Busch and Clint Boyer. Now as the green flag is back out, stage 2 is officially underway. Denny Hamlin just behind us. We have a little bit of JGR sandwich. Obviously Kyle Busch in front of me, Denny Hamlin behind. 10 laps to go here in stage 2, and Clint Boyer gets the short end of the stick on that restart. And I decide, you know what, I'm going to back out of the throttle to see if I can let my teammate back in of Boyer here on the restart so he doesn't go straight to the back, and it's not a good restart at all now as Boyer did not jump down. A terrible restart, kind of an effect of Boyer getting messed up, and then myself being a little bit maybe too lenient to try and help my teammates. So we dropped down all the way to P15, certainly learned my lesson on that one. So now we definitely have to gain some time back as we go down into turns 1. Eric Almirola leads over second place of Landon Castle, who won the Daytona 500 last season in our career mode. Obviously this season's Daytona 500 was won by Matt Tifft, and we'll see if he can stay in the top 30 in points and be able to battle it out in the playoffs to maybe not get eliminated in the first round, although he likely will. Now as you would go up the inside of Joey Logano, clear him, obviously back on this outside lane, pushing our teammate of Clint Boyer. We've seen Clint Boyer a lot in this race already now as we came through at the end, or towards the end of lap 2, through turns 3 and out of turns 4. I'd actually gotten back to the bottom lane. There as you see Austin Dillon on the top. We came through down the back straightaway. We got to the inside of our teammate of Clint Boyer, and then we got a caution once again here in Talladega. About the same time we got one in stage 1, and you see the 22 goes by me on the inside with a bunch of smoke coming out of the car. So definitely he brought out that caution. Once again, this would set us up for an outside lane restart from the 12th position. So not good at all for us here in stage 2, because this is going to probably be the last little run to end the stage. Only 5 laps to go here in stage 2. And there you see the 47 of Ryan Preece, the 43 of Bubba Wallace, and just in front of me now is Paul Menard and Landon Castle. They go to the very top lanes, and obviously the wrong call from them. The AI seems to have just a bad habit of doing that here in career mode, at least at the plate tracks, and it certainly doesn't work out for them at all, ever. So it's kind of weird that they do that. Now, as I would like to see that type of racing after the restarts, when we're all up to speed now, as you see Jimmy Johnson actually up there in the mix here, trying to take the lead actually from Brendan Gaughan as we go through turns 3. We're going to try and follow the 43 of Bubba Wallace to go 3 wide up the middle between LaJoie and Menard, but Jimmy Johnson out front here as we exit turns 4 with his young teammate of William Byron just behind him as they go down into the trial. So Jimmy Johnson, the 7-time champion, having so far a much stronger season than he has in the past seasons of our career mode. So hopefully we can see Johnson continue that here throughout the rest of this season as we go down into turns 1 up the inside of the 43 of Bubba Wallace. At the point down the back straightaway though, my momentum got destroyed and we fell outside of the top 10 as Jimmy Johnson continued to lead the way. Bowman would get just in front of me, but we would be able to battle back. Sure enough, we got to the inside of Alex Bowman on lap 8 of 10 here in the stage, approaching just 2 laps to go at this point in the stage. Byron, he was up in P2 behind Johnson, but he went all the way to the top, and then we we closed right up on the back of Landon Castle, and we just kind of continued to run this bottom, and sure enough, we would get to the inside of the 47, the 24, and now we were attempting to get inside the top 5 as we looked to the inside of LaJoy, Bubba Wallace there in the mix as well, and then we would climb up to P3 as we were approaching the final lap here in stage 2. Johnson, he decides to stay up towards the wall. Landon Castle attacks on the opportunity. He pounces to the bottom, and now they're side by side for the lead as we follow Landon Castle. I wanted to help Jimmy Johnson, but I knew if I went with the 48, we were going to go nowhere as we start this final lap here in stage 2. We came down the back straightaway into turns 3 for the final time, trying to just find the right opportunity to pounce on the 00 of Landon Castle to maybe get a stage win here as we exit turns 4. We're within about a car length or so of the 00, but he has the speed, and we have the draft that we're closing in on him as we go down into the tri-oval, and we get to that left rear quarter panel of Landon Castle, but we don't have enough of a run, and he's going to hang on to win the stages. I was doing everything I could. I was pushing basically right into his left rear quarter panel without turning him. Of course, I did not want to take him out, and we just come up short of a stage win. So we pit again for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, and get ready for stage 3, where we take the lead on pit road here as we get ready to go green. Alright, we're ready to go green here for the 3rd and final stage. Last time we came to Talladega, we came out of there victorious, and hopefully we can do the same today now as we're underway here for this 3rd and final stage. Just 18 laps remain. Bubba Wallace in the 43 for Richard Petty Motorsports just behind us in that 3rd position. Landon Castle trying to hang on to P2, but it does not go well at all for him. He's going to go 3 wide up the outside now as Kyle Busch would kind of catch him off guard, slip up the inside, and now Kyle Busch is going to come through to kind of take that lead for that outside lane as we exit turn 2, but Corey LaJoy, he was trying to lead that outside lane for a moment now. Is right now just getting up to speed. It's all about blocking the run from behind and trying to manage everything we can. Now, as we certainly don't have much of a history of leading plate tracks here. Obviously, we won last time in Talladega, but that was with the last lap pass on our Scooter Haas Racing teammate of Eric Almirola, which also led to Eric Almirola getting eliminated in the playoffs. So that was certainly unfortunate. Maybe I shouldn't have done that to him, but either way, we did get the win out of it. Now, as we go through down into the tri-oval, there you can see behind us in our rear view mirror, they're trying their best to get organized now as we come through to complete this 1st and opening lap here at Talladega in the 3rd and final stage, at least, as we go down into the corner. There you see the 24 of William Byron. He has made a run up to the B side by side with the 43 of Bubba Wallace through turns 1 and turns 2. So that outside lane starting to carry some momentum. So I now allow the 24 to actually get to my outside there as he kind of caught me off guard. He blows right on by me now as I thought about protecting the outside, but the inside was also just kind of closing in on me, so I didn't want to give up that inside. And instead, we drop down now to P5 as they would all get past us, but we would rally back. Sure enough, we get to the inside of Kyle Busch, pushing the 21 of Paul Menard with 15 laps to go here as he is in that 21 car for Wood Brothers Racing as he gets up the inside of William Byron, who's still looking for career win number 1. Of course, now as Paul Menard is looking for career win number 2. We came through turns 3 and out of turns 4, still side by side for the lead, but we would push Paul Menard out to get clear of William Byron as we went down into this tri-oval. So now we're just kind of following Paul Menard and waiting on the right opportunity to hopefully pounce and once again take the lead there as they're side by side behind us. And then the caution actually comes out here in Talladega with 14 laps to go. No one was pitting, so we did not come to the pit lane. We would get ready to go green once again here from the 2nd position. William Byron and Bubba Wallace on row 2. Can we get a better restart than the 21 of Paul Menard for Wood Brothers Racing? Sure enough, we can. We get a much better launch than the 21 of Paul Menard, and into turns 1, I would be able to clear him and take that lead now as we came through the center of the corner, just doing what I can here, trying to protect that outside lane. And then once I realized we're okay, I moved down to the 24 lane, led by William Byron, obviously that middle lane. Now as we drop down a little bit lower here in front of the 21 of Paul Menard as they're going 3 wide down the back straightaway. Protecting the lanes that get runs is certainly a tricky task here in career mode. Now as we came to lap 37, Kyle Busch had actually found his way up into P2 behind me. Then Corey LaJoy, he would get to my outside there. Once again, I didn't realize how much of a run he had. I didn't think he was going to have enough of a run, so I just decided to let him have that outside, and now he might get clear, but no, we battle back through the center of the corner. So maybe we made the right decision staying on that bottom lane as we come through the center of the corner. Now as we exit turn 2, he has the momentum down the back straightaway. I did not want to give up the lead at this point, so I tried to side draft him, and then Kyle Busch catches me off guard. He gets to my inside, and we're 3 wide for the lead in the middle as we go down towards turns 3 here in Talladega with less than 10 laps to go. Now as Newman hits me in the left rear, and he forces it 4 wide through turns 3 and turns 4. A very aggressive move from Ryan Newman. We've had our fair share of incidents this season with the 6 car of Ryan Newman for Roush Fenway Racing, and he just kind of moved up the track, hit me in the left rear, and you can see the effect that it had. We dropped from P1 down to P12. Sure enough, we would battle back though with 3 wide wide up the middle on lap 41 to 47, starting to actually think about green flag pit stops at this point. I certainly wasn't the most thrilled with Ryan Newman as we were approaching him, but we came through into the Travel 3 wide up the inside of Newman now. Boyer on the far outside now as Newman once again though is going to force it 4 wide with us now as he squeezes to my right hand side. At this point I was like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Like, give me a break. Ryan Newman is being so aggressive as we come through turns 1 and turn 2. We would clear him and finally get away from that mess now, as I certainly wasn't the most thrilled again with Ryan Newman, as he's going to eventually hear it from us one day. Now as we would get to the outside of Ryan Blaney being a little bit aggressive there down the back straightaway, and the move would pay off. We would get clear of Blaney there as we went down into turn 3. I kind of chopped his nose, but we had green flag pit stops actually about to happen as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. Kyle Busch goes 3 wide up between the 8 and the 62 of Hemrick and Brendan Gaughan. There you see the 37 of the leader, Chris Buescher, comes to the pit lane. We follow Kyle Busch, and we all actually would kind of get lined up in a line here as I'd fallen behind a little bit. As we came to lap 43, another set of cars come to the pit lane. I did not pit because I didn't feel like I could safely make the move onto the pit lane, so I decided to stay out another lap as the 18 of Kyle Busch appears to be possibly running out of fuel, and so does the 96 of Parker Kliggum, and all of a sudden we're going to pull away from everybody because it seems like they're definitely running out of fuel as we go down into turns 1. We come through turns 3 and turns 4. They didn't fall too far behind. Now as we were getting ready to make our pit stop here under the green flag conditions, but we're all by ourselves, certainly not looking to be in our favor now as we try to get slowed down in time here, coming into the pit lane with just a handful of laps to go as we would speed into the pit lane, and the caution would come out as soon as I sped, and then I was all confused because I wanted to take no tires, half a can of fuel. Well, the team puts 4 tires on and they would put 2 cans of fuel in the car. I was confused out of my mind, not knowing what was about to happen, because right now it says we're leading this race, and you're about to see exactly what happens now as we exit the pit lane, and actually the car just sits there and the yellow flag is still out, the timer's running down, and I'm like, do I hit A to advance? What's going to happen here? So we advance and we get sent to the back due to that penalty. Now as you see what happened here to bring out the yellow, Bubba Wallace just drove straight into the back of the 36 of Matt Tifft, and around he went. But we got a speeding penalty, and the caution came out maybe a half a second after the speeding penalty was committed, so certainly very unfortunate. This would set us up for overtime at the back of the field, joined by Chase Elliott just behind us there. Certainly 100% a mistake on my part. I entered the pit lane. I don't even think I was 5 miles per hour over the limit. Of course I could have been, but I'm not sure exactly what it was as I did not look. But either way, it was certainly a close call, and the caution came out not even a full second after we crossed that pit lane, or that pit line. So very unfortunate how things have shaken up now here at the end of Talladega. What a good race this has been just in general. The racing has been really good, and we've had a chance to win, and obviously we've blown it now as we're 3 wide up on this outside. As at this point, obviously I don't care. I'm just trying to be really aggressive and get whatever I can. And it was obviously, it's looking like we're going to go 2 races in a row without a top 10. Last time out in Richmond we had a very bad race. We ended up crashing in that one now as we fall back again as we exit turns 4. So certainly a frustrating way to end this race because we ran so well here today in Talladega, and definitely proud of what we were able to do here. As Joey Gase leads the way at the white flag. So all of a sudden, as this is happening, we realize that we have another potential playoff upset about to happen here as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2 up the inside of Kurt Busch, passing him as we come through the center of the corner. Ryan Newman is actually in P2, the driver that we've had issues with this season, and the one we've had issues with today a couple times late in this third and final stages to go up the inside of the 9 of Chase Elliott, going 3 wide down this back straightaway with him and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as we go down into turns 3 for the final time here in Talladega. Ryan Newman would actually get to the inside of Joey Gase, and all of a sudden it's side by side between Newman and Gase as they come through out of turns 4. Newman gets clear for the lead. Can he hold on here on this final lap down the front straightaway? We're 3 wide up the middle, just doing whatever I can to get any position I can, but it's Ryan Newman through the travel leading the way. Ryan Newman will win in Talladega, which will put him in the playoffs now as we come through to cross the line to finish in the 30th position here at Talladega Superspeedway. So a very unfortunate finish for us. Ryan Newman, once again, another bit of a playoff shakeup as he would win the race here. Now, as either way, Newman or second or third place winning would have shaken things up, so it didn't really matter there. But Newman is now in the playoffs. He's obviously usually just outside of that cutoff line, as after the race I said, Talladega 6, what happened at the end was just kind of straight to the point there, as I certainly wasn't thrilled with what happened, but obviously it was still 100% my fault what happened, as it was just a driver error there, not slowing down in time to get down to pit road speed. But there's nothing we can do about it now. There's a lot of confusion there when the caution came out and with the pit stop. Certainly just kind of, like I said, a lot of confusion all around. And as always, though, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. Either way, with a rough finish like that, it was still some really good racing in Talladega. We had a shot to win, and then obviously it went away within the final handful of laps. But in the next one, we do go to Dover, one of my favorite tracks in the game, right up there with Bristol, Homestead, Miami, Kansas, the Roval as well. So we're going to see how we can do at Dover there. As you see, the playoff grid once again still shaking up, so we'll see how it shakes up in the next one at Dover. So thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.